I can't afford this house.
She brings up some real things that people need to think about when they're considering buying a home. But before I go into that, I just want to tell her that my heart goes out to her. As a real estate agent, this is something that I try to prepare everyone about before they go into home ownership, because we are all sold on a dream of, or an idea that the American dream is home ownership. And we need to understand the responsibilities that come with that and the costs that are incurred, because there's so many people in this real estate business, not just real estate agents, but insurance agents and mortgage brokers. There's a lot of salespeople that are just rah, rah, you can do it. I can get you in that house. You can own a home. Their concern is more, they're looking at their bottom line. They want to sell, 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 sell. That's not how I and other people in the business do business. We see it more as customer service. I want to help you build financial stability and generational wealth. And sometimes it's not a good idea for you to purchase a home at this time because you're not in a position for it. So for those of you that are thinking of purchasing a home, you need to know that. First step is, am I ready to buy a home? And that is not really determined just by, can I qualify for a home loan? Those are two totally different things. First of all, a home loan is covering your mortgage on the home only, unless you're impounding your taxes. But you have property taxes, you have utility bills, you have homeowners association fees, you have property insurance, you have all kinds of different costs associated with owning that home. And those are just your fixed costs. You also have emergency costs. You have something break or go out, like this original poster said. There is no landlord to call to ask to fix it. So you have to know you can afford owning your home. You have a yard, you've got to keep that yard together. Who's going to do it? Do you have the equipment to do it? You've got to buy the equipment to do it. Do you know how to do it? And it's not just once that you take care of your yard. It's seasonal, or you're going to hire a landscaper. There are a lot of costs associated with owning a home. And the first important thing to do is to sit down and have a real talk with yourself. If you don't know what all those costs might be, reach out to a real estate agent. I'm always available to help. I'm one of those no strings attached. I'm here as a resource. I'm in this business to help other people. So you are always welcome to shoot me a call, a text, or an email if you just have a real estate question, to kind of help you understand, what do I need to be thinking about when I'm going into this. Another huge cost home buyers have that they don't realize is they get qualified for a home loan, and they're usually understanding that they're going to need a down payment for that home loan, and they think that that's the only money they need going in. And that's not true. You have more costs right up front that you're going to need at that signing table before you get the keys to the house. Thousands of dollars that you're going to need to have on hand, depending on how you're financing your purchase, or if you're buying with cash, all of that great stuff. So number one thing is to sit down and understand, what does home ownership, or home borrowership, as she said it, which is very accurate because you're borrowing from the bank. What is this really going to cost? What is this really going to cost me? And am I really prepared? And do I want to take on that responsibility? That's the first step. The second step is understanding home ownership as a investment, as a financial investment. If you're looking at it, for most people, there are people that are going to look for their forever home. These are typically people who are in retirement, and now they're looking for the home that they're going to live in for the rest of their life. If you're not looking for your forever home, your purchase, although it's a 30-year loan, usually you might have a 15 or a 20-year, but although it's usually a long-term home, your home purchase, even if this is investment property, a rental property that you're not living in, you're most likely not going to own that property forever. So in the case for this lady, what you want to make smart purchases, right? You want to purchase at a time where you're not going to find yourself upside down, meaning you owe more than the market value of the home before you're ready to sell the home, right? You want to have gained equity in between the time you purchased it to when you're ready to sell it. So if you are ready to upgrade, you want something bigger, or you've decided you're moving and you don't want to keep that property as an investment property, or if you've decided you can't afford it anymore, maybe circumstances are changed, or maybe you just don't like the lifestyle that it comes with being attached to the cost of a home, you are able to sell it. You can't sell an apartment that you're renting, or a house that you're renting from someone. Whatever money you've put into a house when you're renting, a home when you're renting, that money is gone. You don't get that back. The value in home ownership is that you have a choice when you want to move on from that property. You can rent it out, and rent is usually pretty high. So that's the hope, right? So you got to research your area, but the hope is that you're going to have a property that you can rent out to at least cover all your costs associated with owning that property. Hopefully the rent can be even higher so that you can make a profit off of it. But you have that option. You could rent it out and it becomes a source of income. Or you can sell it. And the hope is that you can sell it for more than your mortgage loan is. The bigger hope is, yes, you can sell it for, you can get you want to be able to recoup whatever down payment you made, as well as have a profit above and beyond the mortgage loan amount that's left on it when you sell it. You're going to hurt your brain trying to go back and, like this person was talking about, if you're trying to go back and look at all the months you've spent, all the mortgage you've spent, all the money you've put in it. Yes, the ideal is that you're going to sell and cover all those costs associated with ever owning the home plus make a profit. But you might not be able to do that. Either way, you need to be thinking of it in terms of either way you were going to live somewhere and you were going to be paying to live there. So if you were renting, you got nothing back. That's the difference you're looking at. You're not looking at, oh, what all these months cost? No, because you were going to be paying to live somewhere anyway. What is the cost when you sell it? Are you getting your down payment back and making a profit above and beyond the amount you owe on your loan? But again, these are long-term responsibilities. They can be short-term too, depending on the circumstances you're purchasing. But you need to know that going in so that you don't feel like she does. And at the end of the day, feel like, this is too much. I took all this on. I would have much preferred to stay a renter. This is too expensive. For her right now, I don't know what market she's living in. Most of the nation is still experiencing a seller's market, although things are slowing down in terms of how fast they sell nationally and at what price they're growing at nationally. That has slowed down, but it has still continued to be good for sellers. And depending on your market, like the market I live in is still a very strong seller's market where things are still selling very fast and the market value is still very high. So depending on where she is, she can bail out. She can sell and still be in a good position and choose to rent. But I just want you to know these things going in. Think about these things first. Don't let anybody rush you. Don't let anybody get you caught up in their sales pitch. Just take a breath, cut off the communication. Think. First, gather information so you can make your own decisions first and foremost. And like I said, call somebody that you know in the industry that you can trust to just let you know, what do I even need to be thinking about? Because when you've never done it before, you don't even know what to think about. Or if you haven't done it in a long time, you might even not even realize what things you need to think about. And like I said, no matter where you live, I'm a real estate agent in Maryland. I used to work in California where my husband was a real estate agent. I can answer questions specific to those areas, but I can answer your questions generally, nationally. I just can't help you buy or sell a home anywhere but in Maryland.